Hey guys, it's MC Fix It here. We have a 2011 Toyota RAV4 that we're going to be doing some rear brakes and calipers on. We're going to spend some good time showing you exactly how you can do these yourself with all the tools, the supplies, and the know-how, and some tips and tricks along the way. So this is the full lineup of all of the tools and the supplies that I use to make this project happen. So if you're doing the rears, you're going to want these brake pads. I'll put a link down in the description. It's a PDX1212H and two sets of rotors at a YH200504HC. Again, you'll need two of those. There are two sets of pads in there. If you're doing the front, you're going to want the PX D1210H, and the rotors that go with that is a YH200505HC. And do note, if you have a third row, they do actually have bigger rotors, so you want to make sure to get that for your RAV4. And then here are the tools that I used. I like to wear gloves to keep things clean, a magnetic tray, a torque wrench, some kind of wrench. I did use my M12 for a lot of this. An impact gun to get the lug nuts off. You don't have to have that. You can just have a big breaker bar. You're going to need a 21, a 17, and a 14 millimeter. This right here is a torque stick to get it down to 94 foot-pounds. If you do bleed your brakes, you're going to need an 8 millimeter and something to catch it with. I do like to polish the hubs, so this works really well. I do have another video coming out very soon testing this against two other ones, and I did think the Titan was the best one, so I have that there. This right here is a little hack if your rotors are stuck. I don't know the exact size and thread on this, but it's a 1/2 inch. It goes right inside the hole on your rotor and pops it right off. So if you have some old bolts around, you might be able to figure that out. And if somebody knows what size it is, put it in the comment section below to help others out. Some kind of pry tool. I do like a hanger for the actual caliper. I 3D printed this one. You can also get metal ones. Pretty inexpensive to print if you have a printer. Wire brushes are really good as well to clean off the bracket. I do use Sil-Glyde brake lubrication. Some kind of hammer. This is a rubber mallet. Over here is my 5-pound heavy duty sledgehammer. I did have to use this because I live in the north. You're going to want something to compress the brake caliper pin. I do use a little bit of Anit-Seize, brake fluid, brake clean, some kind of towels and gloves. Make sure to also have a jack stand, and wheel chuck. So those are all the tools and the supplies that I used. You may find other ones work better for your particular job, but this is what I used and worked really well. In this video, I'm going to show you how to do the rear pads and brakes. If you're doing all the way around, I still like to start in the back, just in case you ever want to bleed your brakes and then move forward. So now that your vehicle is properly jacked up and on jack stands, you got the tire removed, we need to go ahead and remove the brake caliper. So these are size 14 bolts right here. We need to go ahead and remove both of them. There's the first bolt, and the second one is down here. So both of those bolts are good. We'll go ahead and put them in our tray so we know where they're at. And the calipers should just slide off. You can see it's got a lot of debris inside of it because these pads are pretty ruined. So we're going to go ahead and use our fancy dancy little clip here so there's no tension on that brake line. Go ahead and get these pads off. They might be a little seized on there, and you can tell that's probably past being done. So that one's pretty bad. The whole back clip fell off too, and there's no wear pad indicator, which is not a good sign as well. So yeah, those are done for. So there is still a little bit of life left on that one, but overall those things are pretty much done for. So pitch those. Gonna go ahead and remove these clips. We are not going to reuse them. And then we need to go ahead and remove these 2 bolts. And these are your actual slide bolts. These should freely move in and out, and they are really tough. So we're going to definitely have to clean all that out. So we have 2 bolts back here holding on the caliper bracket. They are size 17. And they are pretty thick. Go ahead and get the bottom one. Then this caliper bracket should come off. We need to do a lot of cleaning on this. You can see just the amount of rust and all that is on there. So we need to take our time scrubbing all of that off. So go ahead and spend a few minutes cleaning off all of the debris all the way around. Careful with the boots here. You don't want to rip those, but we are going to take them apart and clean all that. But this area right here is one of the areas that needs it the most. Get this nice and clean. So when we put the new pads on and hardware, it just goes on nice and smooth. So go ahead and spend a few minutes doing that. So after about 2 minutes of work, this thing is looking much better and everything should fit in a lot smoother. So we're going to go ahead and pull out the caliper slide pins. Like I said, these ones are pretty stuck in there. That one finally released. So we're going to pull those out and we're going to clean all that up. So we got one more to get out. And then pull that guy out too. I'm not certain if these have ever even been cleaned. I like to use the blue towel on this because I know it's a one-time use only thing. And just clean these pins as good as you can. And you can see that's pretty broken down grease. So it does not take a long time, but it's something that really does help your brakes out. And then I like to use Sil-Glyde for this, and so you don't have to use a bunch, just a nice little chunk. If you don't have super clean gloves, just grab a chunk of this and move it up and down and all around. That looks good there. We'll go ahead and insert this back in. And that is very movable and free now. That's awesome. We're going to do the same thing to the other one. Go ahead and grab it and insert it and move it all around and see how much freer those are and ready to go. Next thing we need to do is go ahead and take off the rotor. And being up north, like everything, it is seized, so we're probably going to have to use a rubber mallet or a hammer. We'll start with a rubber mallet. Nothing. You don't want to hit any of your threads, so do be careful when doing this. We'll move up to a sledgehammer. So if it is stuck and you're unable to get it, this is a 14mm bolt that we're going to put in and see if it'll separate it out. Yes, it is. And so just like that, I got that out of there. You can see it's just a bolt that goes in one of these 2 holes. And that worked perfect. Much easier than smashing it a ton of times. Just one bolt, one 14mm. We are going to have to save this little piece here. That is for the e-brakes. It'll have a hole in the other side as well. And you can just push it out with a screwdriver. So we do want to clean up this wheel hub here. So they make a ton of different tools out there. This is the one I'm going to be using today. This is the Titan. It does come with a couple of extra, I think it comes with an extra head. And this goes on, cleans and cleans. I'll show you what it looks like. This one does use a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go slow because I don't want to make it just get ruined because I'm going too fast. So and that right there looks really good and nice and smooth. You do want to just make sure everything feels good, and that is nice and slick. So I know this next step might be debated, but I live up north, and whenever I have the opportunity, I like to just put a very small amount on this little part right here where the wheel meets. I do think that does help a lot when getting it back off. So I did not go heavy at all, did not put multiple scoops, just really what was on there around that. I think that helps when you're having to do it the next time, because I do like to keep my vehicles for a long time to be able to have them be usable and easy to get to. So I'm using CarQuest. These are the professional ones. The part number is YH200504HC, and this is for both of the rear. First thing I like to do is actually open the back side of it, and I'll actually clean the back side of it with a brake cleaner inside of the back. Sometimes they put chemicals on here from the factory, so this is just your basic brake clean, and just go ahead, give it a good spray, and it disappears in just a few moments. And then we're going to go ahead and take this in the bag and put this up and on. So with it in the bag, we're just going to go ahead and push that on. Now you can see I did get a little bit of stuff on it, but it's so much better than it would have been. You need to put this in first, and you can just tell how much nicer these ones are than what we had before. Sometimes you got to take a screwdriver and help that in. This just does need to be lined up where there's little cutouts all over the place, so then you would just spin it down to the bottom to be able to use it. And you can see where this thing sat. And so everything should be good there, and you're not going to have stuff all over the place. At this point, I do like to put at least a lug nut on it just to keep everything where it should be when we start bleeding the caliper. And it's not going to go all the way down on there, but it's going to be to where it doesn't fall off. So I like to do that. You don't have to, but that's just something I prefer to do. The next step is to put the caliper bracket on, and it does go right here. You're going to go ahead and take your bolts. I do like to hand tighten both of these. Here's the first one. Okay, once you've tightened those down by hand, we're going to go ahead and grab a torque wrench. So we have a 17 millimeter that we're going to torque down to 65 foot-pounds for this rear disc brake cylinder mounting bracket. The top one is good. Let's go and do the bottom one. Perfect. And this thing should be free in here. You should not be hitting anything, so that's good too. So we'll go ahead and pull this off. Because of how small this hose is, I'm probably going to just go ahead and put the bolt in at the bottom. Not all the way, just a little bit. And then swing this down so we can properly put and compress this piston and put in the pads. We're going to go ahead and open up our brake fluid reservoir. I'm just going to set this right up here. So you only want to leave that brake reservoir open when you are pushing this back in. You don't want to leave it indefinitely open. To compress your caliper piston, you're going to take an old brake pad and make sure the back of it is touching it, and go ahead and use a tool like this. Begin to spin it slowly and allow it to compress back. You can start to see as I'm doing it, it's going further and further back, and then it'll go to where it stops. At that point, you go ahead and stop. All right, there's it. We'll go ahead and unscrew this. Now you can close the brake reservoir. You can kind of clean this up a little bit if you'd like to. Okay, now it's time for the pads. This is a PXD1212H, and this is the Professional Platinum by CarQuest. Let's compare the old to the new. You can definitely tell those were way past due for new brake pads. In fact, these are so close to the metal. So this was a great time to change these. So I was mistaken a little bit ago. I said that it did not have a wear indicator. These do not have wear indicators. If yours do, always put the wear indicator on the side closest to the vehicle. So as it wears, you'll be able to hear it and it doesn't break off. I thought mine must have broke off. And inside the baggie comes with brand new clips. So you're going to go ahead and take your caliper brackets. These things should just kind of fit perfectly into place. If you're having to manipulate them really at all, you probably need to clean a little bit more, because it probably has too much rust on it. At least that's what I found in the past. Go ahead and take that same brake lubricant and we're going to put a little bit on a blue towel and then we're going to put it on the bracket. Be very careful not to get this anywhere else. You do not want this on the actual rotor at all. So it's just where the metal of the brake pad and the clip is going to touch. We'll go ahead and insert these. If it's really difficult to insert, you need to go ahead and clean your caliper bracket better. We'll go ahead and put this in. Make sure not to touch the front face of the pads. I always think the back are a little more difficult to get in, but it should not be a true struggle. It's just kind of lining it up without being able to see. So if you're having a lot of difficulty putting this in, you probably need to clean your rotors of your, gosh, dang it. If you're having a lot of difficulty putting your new pads in, most of the time it's because you did not clean this caliper bracket good enough. I will say putting the backside on is the harder of the two, but it should be pretty easy to put in. Everything should look good. It should fit in there solid. So I do like to test to make sure it looks like it's going to fit. It does. And then I also look to see where this is going to touch. So it's going to touch here and on the backside. So I like to put a little grease on that as well. Same type of grease, just get a little bit of it. I saw somebody using a paintbrush, like a little kid's paintbrush. I was like, that's actually a pretty smart idea. So you got one of those lying around. Again, I push from the bottom out so I don't get anything on the rotor itself. That looks really good. You don't really have to have anything in the middle, but go ahead and slide that back and on. I like it. Then we got these two bolts we're going to tighten down by hand. Then we'll tighten them down to spec. I do like for brakes, for some reason, I like to make sure I'm not stripping anything, so I'll try to do it by hand as much as possible when you're putting it back on. Both of the slide pins are going to be put to 20 foot-pounds with a 14 millimeter. That was it. And you know, Toyota doesn't make it easy for the backside. Okay, that's good. So that right there is done. We're going to spray it one time just to clean everything off nice and good. Then we can put the tire back on. Looks good right there. Brake job done on this side. You're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. After completing both sides of the back, after both sides are completed, we'll want to go ahead and reinstall the wheels onto the hub. Go ahead and grab your 5 lug nuts. I do like to start these all by hand to make sure we don't strip anything out. Then we'll go ahead and tighten these down to 94 foot-pounds. This is a 21 millimeter. So we got a 21 millimeter with a 94 foot-pound torque stick. Go ahead and tighten this down. I do like to go in a star pattern so your lug nuts get tightened. And you're all good to go. Go ahead and give this thing a test drive and check out to see how good you did your brakes. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you do have any questions, put them down in the comment section below. Hope you have a great rest of your day.